Shall we continue? Wait, what's that? Training house is fun. No thanks. Blasphemy unmasked. Forgive me, my friends, but I must return to Maghodora for the time being. There, I can better manage this crisis dispatch my troops as the situation demands. In that case, we should carry out an investigation of our own here in the city. Mayhap the residents can tell us more about the first of the transformation and the conditions on which it occurred. If we can ascertain what exactly triggered these tragic events, it may give us some insight as to the possible solution. Time is of the essence. Let us split into 3 groups that we may cover more ground. Alize and I will see the Parkship path, Dagrid and Yostola, pray make for Dharma. I leave Arthra, the Graha, and you, Ronald. Any information you can gather on the first blasphemy or the manifestation of the final days here in the city would be most helpful. When we have completed our respective inquiries, let us reconvene in front of Magdalena, that we might share what we've learned with them. Graha? Graha? Guys, it's Graha. Can we be off then? Anna is the home of the Kai Crucible of alchemists forged many of our warning scale. That seems as good a place as any to begin our investigation, don't you think? I spoke recently, briefly, with New Haddon, chief alchemist there, on our last visit. He'd be happy to answer our call. Okay. Summoners. Summoners. All the summoners. You know what? I'm gonna actually run this. I'm gonna have all of the rights here. I have to get over there. I'm gonna collect all of them. Oh. Oh wait, okay, I messed up. Ah, sorry. Oh, it just looks stable. Whoa. I remember those red eyes. You were with those scions who commissioned the scales from us, yet I welcome you back to the High Crucible. What brings you in here these troubling times? We are assisting the satrap in investigating the crisis that plagues the city. Did you happen to catch sight of any of the creatures? I did. As I was going about my work, I was disturbed by crashing footsteps so powerful that the very ground shook. I rushed outside, could not believe what I beheld. The night sky was burning. Suddenly, I heard panic screams coming from the direction of Baslin Bazaar. In the next instant, a monstrous beast poked its head out from amidst the stalls. A handful of the Radiant rushed to the scene only to be sent sprawling as the fiend and its minions propelled themselves skyward. So the blasphemy came from the vicinity of the markets. This knowledge may prove useful. I thank you for sharing your tale. Well, I do believe we now know where we should acquire next. To the bazaar. Where? Hostiles. So this is Ravanian Reef. I must say, it bears a resemblance to the traditional fabrics of Corvos. Small wonder, really, given that it's just across the water. Not that I am much of an expert in Corvos culture, of course. I had had not the occasion to visit my ancestral home since coming to Charlian. Like as not, I will never reside there again. That said, in recent days I felt more acutely aware of my heritage and grateful for it. It is thanks to my forebears that I inherited the royal eye, and with it the wisdom of ancient Alligator. So, well, I simply hope that my countrymen are safe one day when the calamity is but a memory. I would like to see Corvos again once. Forgive me, but my shop's closed until further notice. Needless to say, we've more pressing concerns these days. You have not come in search of wares, but information concerning the enormous fiend that tore through the bazaar. You perchance witness anything? Right now, my friend. I was here the whole time, and I only saw it. All its little minions made a mess of the place. They did. While that was all going on, the great big one tore through the west side of the bazaar. You had better luck asking there. Let me grab this last, which we caught. All the Etherite shards. Not the Etherite itself. They're keeping that locked for a reason. It must be a plot thing. Is something the matter, Trevor? If you're lost, perhaps I could be of assistance. Your offer is most appreciated. We are not lost, but we are in need of information. Might you know anything about the gargantuan beast that rampaged through the bazaar? I saw it all, though I wish I had not. I was going about my work when all of a sudden a piercing scream cut through the air. I turned around and there was the fiend. Its massive body bursting through that entryway with the force of a tidal wave. And then it was gone as quickly as it came. Oh, sisters have mercy. What is happening to the world? What am I to do? Nowhere safe? No, friend, the danger is past, at least for now. If it's not too painful to remember, could you tell us what you saw? First I heard the screams, then a horde of ravening beasts came charging towards us. One of them was huge, bigger than Merid, throwing people like rag dolls, and it was eating them. I hid under the counter, saw others do the same. The shrieking and wailing kept getting louder, more voices in the throng. Beasts or victims, I couldn't tell. I knew not what was happening, I stood all. That is enough, my good man. You were brave to share with us your tale. Many of your fellow merchants are safe. The High Crucible, too, has survived most unscathed. Pray stay close to your friends and loved ones, and rest your body and mind while you are able. I suspect that is the most we could expect the people here to tell us. I think it's best we find a place outside the bazaar. Might rest and review our findings. They all say the same thing. They heard a scream and then it just was there. Judging by the accounts, the transformation had occurred by the time the beast was bazaar. It tore through the west side of the bazaar and headed towards the present. In other words, the blasphemy may have first appeared in this case. The people in that mayhem surely tell us more. Going after that enormous beast, are you? Saw it, included the very instant that poor bastard transformed. Damn the gods for putting me there. Started over there by the window. A few men, merchants probably, talking and drinking. Conversation must have taken a turn for the worse. Next thing I know, their leader, I suppose he was, buries his head in his hands, and black mist was swirling about him. Then his whole body burst apart. There stands a hideous, slavering beast, massive and foul, gaping maws and bulging eyes. His friends start shrieking, and then the black mist comes again until the change takes them too. The stuff of nightmares. Who goes merchant work? No, I'm a doctor. I'm a decorator by trade. Not much cause to mingle with this. So Millie, the barmaid, chatting with them though. She might know something. Even after repairing all that damage, it'll take a while for business to pick up again. You mean the blasphemy? That's what the Radiant has been calling it. I saw it too. We all did. I was standing here at the counter. Murder poured me a drink when suddenly there came this dreadful sound like a pained, angry groan. It was unlike anything I've ever heard. I turned around in shock, and from an enormous cloud of black rose the creature, enormous and ghastly. That's what happened next. To recall it, then shivered as my tongue. By some stroke of fortune, I was able to slip outside before the beast got its claws on me. But the sight that greeted me offered no solace. The blue sky turned red as blood. Maithrey, myself, and other survivors clung to each other for dear life until the Radiant host came to our aid. Wait. Did I hear that correctly? The beast manifested before the sky began to burn? Certain of it. The windows here offer a clear view of the sky, and I saw nothing out of the ordinary until the beast appeared and began to rage. Oh, yeah, as usual. We'll look out. Hello there, welcome to business. Me Hydra's Mayhan. Can we get you? You'll come not for limitations, but rather for information. You're Mihail? We are investigating the so-called blasphemy on the traps we have. We hear it was one of your customers, a merchant. The first underwent the transformation. What? Yeah, tell us about him. He was son of a rediker here, especially of late. Oh no. So what's his name? I figured as much, but I didn't want to believe it. He ran his own consortium, dealing primary in the exports of Travanium specialty. It's through him we met. Yeah, the names ring a bell. Didn't you meet them both on your first trip to Thavnir? If I recall correctly, Kazra ran a trading operation in Yadamar, and it was there that you made Atsuya's acquaintance. Yes, that's the same one. No doubt. A rather successful man from what I gathered. That said, it was clear that he had fallen on hard times of late. Those ghastly towers popping up everywhere could not have been good for business. And now, with the towers gone, the collapse of the empire has led to all sorts of problems elsewhere. The markets for luxuries are surely not what they once were. Nine times for the head of a trading consortium. Indeed. Kazura was a compassionate man. Even as his business suffered, he did what he could to provide for the artisans, fishermen, and many others who counted on him to sell their wares. Indeed, that was the very topic of yesterday's meeting, as far as I could hear yet, as they discussed matters further. Kazura's tone grew grave and grim. It was then that... Forgive me, I would not have you recall the memory of it. And if I could, I would ask you, did you notice any unusual about Kazura in particular? Sorry, nothing springs to mind. Perhaps someone else can. Kazura lived for his work and had no family that I know. Employees, associates do him best, but they too are lost to. Still, perhaps his neighbors know something I do not. I can direct you to them if you believe it would help. It's like I keep saying. It's like I said before. It's hopelessness. They fell into despair, and whatever this thing is, it just gripped them and turned them inside out. I'm in steel pocket. Anything out of these? No. Kazuo made his home in Kama, a nearby residential area. From what I gather, Kazuo lived there since childhood, and it was known throughout the neighborhood. Oh no. Your name is new to me. How do we get there? I'll write down some direction. I know how to get there. I promise you. I cannot promise that you will find what you care. But if nothing else, it is a start. Come, let's see where this takes us. I have to run this, okay. Ask for directions. I mean, I know how to get there, it's just... It'd be faster if I could just go there by just teleport over there, but... Huh. So if I step on that... And this must be Kama. Arrived at last. Let us begin questioning the residents without someone here or about Kazuya. Given recent events, I imagine many are taking shelter indoors. Let's just open the door and just walk right into people's houses. Yes, I've known him since he was a boy. If there was ever a man who was born by a merchant, it was him. Always early to depart and late to return, he'd spend his days procuring the finest wares and seeking out willing customers. You could say it came to him as easily as breathing. Sadly, business was flagging of late. No surprise really with how dangerous travel has become. He was cooped up in his house from dawn till dusk the other day, and no doubt whacking his brain in a way to turn his fortunes around. Then at night, I heard the door open. I looked out to see Kazuya sitting on the bench, head hung low, man with the weight of the world on his shoulders. The situation must have been quite dire then. You notice anything else? Nothing to speak of other than the troubles with the consortium. He was the same old Kazuya, cordial and honest like always. These questions you are asking, something happened to him? caught up in that terrible incident at the bazaar, was he? I don't travel much these days, but my daughter told me not to venture outside. Stuck in here as I am, I heard little about these bizarre going-ons. Rest assured, the city is safe for now, but the situation may change without warning. I urge you to stay close to your daughter and be prepared to take refuge should this order it. Could you go back another time? I just woke up, but I'm not exactly in the mood for idle chat. Well, that's one way to avoid the panic, I suppose. Pardon our intrusion, but you may not have noticed, but a great danger has come to Thavnir. I encourage you to stay alert and prepare to flee the city should the situation become dire. But before we leave you in peace, pray allow us a question or two. Did you know a local merchant named Kazel? If so, did you notice anything unusual about him recently? No, I know him. In fact, we spoke just the other day. Like many others, his business is doing poorly. Still, it seemed that he managed to turn things around thanks to a generous order from Railroad Fibers. Why, he was practically dancing. I haven't spoken since, but I assume all went well. Denarava, I'd be able to tell you more though. As I recall, he was the one who brokered the agreement. This sounds promising. Oh, have to go all. Oh God. Can't get through. Okay. I dropped. Good. So I guess they can fall heights and then be fine. And hurry, I say. There's no time to waste. Pardon me, but you're in charge of buying and selling here, yes? We have a few questions we'd like to... Sorry, but I simply don't have the time to chat. If you haven't noticed, we have our hands full at the moment. We must carry all our wares and equipment to safety before those occur. In that case, might we be assistants? Perhaps we could speak when the job is done. Very well. You start by helping us move our equipment. Ask the others what to put where. And you can carry our fabrics. Go through that door and speak with Camilla. He'll tell you the rest. Remember, these textiles are lovely, but handle them with care. Textiles. What are these textiles? Kamala. This entry is for employees only. Ow, ow. In fact, you come to help. Oh, praise be to Mindrova. Kind stranger, I welcome your assistance. On your way here, you pass storehouses. Yes? I'd like you to carry that small crate. Massive crate goes to... Those are all the crates we have ready. Thread, is it? Then you've come to the right place. We thank you for your aid. If you have any crates, finished projects such as carpets, clothing, and the like, spray, bring them here for crate full of clothing, is it? I'll take that off your hands. Many thanks. Nice. Oh my god. Oh no, this is gonna... Oh, this is gonna be awkward. Oh. I saw you're quite the... I say you're quite the brawny one, aren't you? Good thing that never know when you'll need to defend yourself in unpredictable times. A crate full of fabric? Exactly what I was hoping to receive. Here, let me put that away for you. You've carried all the crates to the storehouses, you say? So quickly too. Why, I've never seen anyone so strong. I and my associates will see to the rest. So please return to dinner and assure him our work keeping up pace. To tell the truth, we are grateful for this distraction. Too many terrible happenings of late. Generous souls like yourself gave me hope that we may emerge from this trial even stronger. I pray we meet again. Our peaceful times. Done as I asked, have you? I'm going to satisfied with your work, so am I. You have done us a great favor, traveler. I too have delivered the instruments and apparatus. Both have my thanks. With our wares safely stored away, we'll not lose any more to those fiends. I take it that your establishment did not escape the attack escape. We did not. Thankfully, most of our workers have already left. For the day. But those of us still here so all. We looked to the burning skies in confusion, and then before we could even begin to make sense of it, a hideous creature burst through the door, shrieking. We ran for our lives, but one of my colleagues were not so fortunate. He cried out a scream of such agony and terror, and the next instant, he too sprouted fearsome calls. The sight of it caused another fellow to panic, and then he too transformed. I'm sorry, there was something you wanted to ask? Indeed, you knew the marching Huzzah, did you not? I believe he had some dealing with your establishment. I know him well. We arranged for his consortium to deliver a large shipment of fragments, but in the end, we received a better offer and had to turn him down. I understand his business is struggling, so is ours. Another of our most reliable trading partners agreed to pre-split the goods for a much smaller commission. We had been fools, and we'd have been fools to refuse. I feel terrible for withdrawing the offer, but you must understand we simply had no choice. He tried to put on a brave face when I delivered the news, but his dejection and despair was plain as day. He said he'd discuss it with his associates, but I could tell he'd all but given up hope. Dejection. You remember what we saw in Bethesda, yes? Soldiers and jungle dwellers pushed to the very brink, turning into beasts one after the next. We'd seen the same occur here. The port's craftsmen attacked by the fiend, as well as those that witnessed it, all undergoing the change. I suspect that everything began with Kazel. By our accounts, it is he who suffered from the most profound and piercing. Wait, could that be it? Such intense motion that such intense motions were what triggered his transformation? Much remains unclear, but I believe we are drawing closer to an answer. At any rate, we must discuss our findings with the other. Yes. Let us talk to the others. We must. Beyond the depths of despair, we were to reconvene with the others in front of the Magadora. Were we not? That should be just outside. With any luck, they have already returned with their own investigations. My friend, we must take our leave. I pray that your establishment is spare further tragedy, but remember, your lives are far more precious than anywhere. If you are ordered to flee, do so without hesitation. Indeed, I thank you for your concern and pray you two take care as well. That Reaper? No, that's Warrior. Meow. What happened out here?
There you are. You've spoken with the survivors?
Indeed. We thought to share what we have gleaned, that we might together gain a greater understanding of present circumstances.
Fortuitous timing. Alize and I completed our own investigations not long ago.
Then we should take a moment to compare notes. Shall we begin with the two of you?
Yeah.
So the merchant Karzal was gravely concerned about his business in the days preceding his untimely end.
The tales we heard were much the same. The first victims to be changed into blasphemies were all overcome with anguish of one manner or another. Then those who saw their loved ones stolen before their eyes succumbed to a similar panic, setting in motion a chain of transformations.
Fear, unease, despair. These negative feelings serve as a catalyst.
If so, then it is not unlike the calamity that befell the ancients. With their creation magics, they unwittingly gave form to untold horrors. Had they simply lost control, surely it would have manifested in many forms, not all of them monstrous. Yet somehow, this phenomenon is triggered solely by the darkness in their hearts, a common thread with what we now witness.
Common, but not identical. While the beasts the ancients faced were forged with magic alone, those of today are born of sentient beings. Why remains to be seen. But there is one fundamental difference between us and our predecessors. Our souls are sundered, whereas theirs were not. Perhaps that single variable makes all the difference.
If I may, there was another detail that troubled me. We have it on good authority that Karl Zal's transformation took place before the skies began to burn.
What? If that's true, then the situation's more dire than we realized. It means even if there's no ominous sign presaging the final days, anyone, anywhere, has the potential to become a beast.
Exactly.
Even in lands we thought safe, even as we speak.
Look! It's the satrap! The satrap!
Thank the heavens!
My countrymen, I am relieved and heartened to see you strong and safe. While the danger has not yet passed, far from it, allow me to assure you that the beasts that raged within the city walls have been exterminated to the last. Outside this sanctuary, the brave men and women of the Radiant Host and our dragon ally continue to battle our unholy foes. I pray these tidings put your minds at ease and help you calm your hearts. Have faith that we shall soon conquer this terrible trial.
Your Excellency, is there any word from Palaka's stand? My grandson was bound for there yesterday, and I worry for his life.
We are still awaiting a report, but I promise you, as soon as I have aught to share...
Your Excellency, I bring grave news.
You are?
I'm Matya of Akyali, a humble fisherman.
Ah, I remember you from our first visit.
Wait, you're... But no, that can wait. When the skies turned red, I set off for Palaka's stand, fearing for the safety of a friend. But as I drew near the village, I saw dreadful beasts all about.
No! Gods have mercy! Your Excellency! Save my grandson, I beg of you!
We will spare no effort to save all we can, but you must remain calm.
Calm? You tell me to be calm? You saw those beasts? They tore our bravest warriors limb from limb! What if we are too late, huh? They catch him, stick their fangs into him? The fangs! The screams!
Get away from her, now!
It's just like the light when the Sin Eaters transform. When they transform people, but this is worse.
Damn it! We've got to kill them before it spreads.
We'll handle this. See the townspeople to safety.
Run! As fast as you can!
This is worse.
Vitra, our people, you must save them. My son,
Enough! You must run. For their sake and your own. Yes, you will survive. You must.
So you can stop it. What are you about to do?
Be strong, my friends! Fear not, for we will defeat these abominations!
That's the Exarch coming out of him.
Brave men and women of the Radiant Host, lend your Stola and Thancred your aid. Let not a single beast escape. The rest of you, flee this place. Carry the wounded if you must. Head indoors or underground.
Yep, that's the Crystal Exarch talking out.
Stay
Coming
calm.
out.
No beast will follow you. We will see to that.
Alphino! Alice! Leave the city to us, and make for Palaka's stand at once! Matya, show my friends to the village. I promise you, they're more capable than the host's finest.
Right. Go with them, will you? We will save these people. As many as we can.
Yep, that was the Exarch. That was the Exarch part of him coming out. You must save Palaka's stand. Whatever it takes. That's it pains me to put you in harm's way, but I would ask your aid as well. Of course, Palaka's stand is not far. Just down that hill. But as I told His Excellency before, the path is blocked by terrible creatures. I had no choice but to turn back. In that case, this is what we shall do. Ronald, I ask that you take the lead and dispatch any beast you encounter. Alice and I will keep hidden amidst the trees. Follow when the path is clear. There is no telling what dangers await. Keep your eyes peeled. So we're actually in the new area. Yep, we're in the other side. Hope they don't mind me going over here for a moment. Pravana Ramos. And this should be Alright, let me deactivate this first. Cannot be. We must heal those we can quickly. I see no beasts, but stay on your guard. First things first. Cooling body has already been lifted. Board the bed. How do they appear to be breathing? Oh no. First things first, let's do this quest line. Though the village injuries do not appear life-threatening, it does not respond to your efforts. It grows more ragged each other, and its vacant eyes, those of a man who has lost the will to live. Even if I wake up, the nightmare goes on. Oh, we call out, but the band does not respond. You come to help us? Too late, my family. Are these the only villagers who survived? I can only hope others managed to flee. But if the rest have been turned into beasts by the 12, let us do what we can to see the damage spread no farther. And no matter what comes, we must keep our spirits high. At least we ourselves suffer a similar fate. Hey, we're 88 now. Means I have Enchanted Brotherhood. Which means every time I attack. Means every what is it? Every time I use a weapon skill now? Guaranteed that a track will open when you are under the effect of Meditated Brother and execute a weapon skill. Yes. Yep. So when I use Brotherhood, I will instantly get a chakra. Yeah, a chakra every time I use an attack.